Most of the trolls that come to our channel do it for one reason only. Call us a name, say we're bad people, and get the hell out. And I do say our channel because there are so many people connected to this channel that really are help it grow and help it grow way and influence way beyond the couple of million people who watch it every month. So that, yeah, thank you for all you other guys that are sharing and liking, subscribing, who are doing Photoshop, images, who are giving suggestions on technical advice, lots and lots of, and of course everybody who sends in stories. So thanks everybody. But of the there's always like 5 or 10% of the trolls who try to do a little bit more than just call us names. They stick around, they throw a fact at us. They kind of remind me, and when they throw this fact at us, our response is supposed to be, oh my God, how did we overlook this? Everything we thought was wrong. That's what they think's going to happen. What really happens is that a lot of us look at these remaining trolls, and they kind of remind me of kids on a basketball court. They have $200 sneakers, nice shoes, nice pants and shirt, but within 10 seconds of being on the court, you can tell they really don't have the game to match their equipment. So I know a lot of trolls, they want to be the intellectual guy who brings down the big bad black, don't make the black kid angry channel, but they're still trying. But when they do try, they can only say 3 things. Everything they say is broken down into 3 things. 1, Colin, that's not happening. 2, Colin, white people do it too. 3, Colin, white people deserve it. That's it. That's everything. And so every once in a while, somebody will say, Colin, why don't you debate somebody? Why don't you debate Sean King? Yeah, I mean, that's how it works. Not me doing it. One of you guys sending him a tweet, sending him an email. That's how I got on Sean. That's how I got on Alex Jones. That's how I got on Sean Hannity. That's how I've been on a lot of shows. It's always the viewers who are saying, hey, you guys have to pay attention to him. That, producers like listening to viewers a lot more than they do PR gurus, by the way. And so anyway, the trolls are kind of limited in what they could say. And so we're going to see a bunch of videos, new videos right now, new clips, some kind of startling. So just to save the trolls the time, instead of making up these phony baloney excuses, why don't you just say, number 1, white people, Colin, it's not happening. Number 2, white people do it too. 3, white people do it too. Or number 3, white people deserve it. See, that'll save you guys a lot of trouble. So let's get to it.
Now with that home invasion hero, an 11-year-old girl who called 911 while hiding in a closet in her home. She says 3 burglars were breaking in, and ABC's Lindsay Davis has the incredible story.
Hello, please. I need help. I need help.
Ashley Bermudez's desperate whispers are heard on this 911 call as she watches an unknown vehicle pull into her driveway.
What's going on? They're breaking into my house. Please come really quick. What is the address?
Ashley retreated to a closet in her upstairs bedroom last Tuesday as the 3 prowlers burglarized her home, taking an estimated $13,000 worth of items.
I was trying to be very quiet while in the closet so that they can't hear me.
When the intruders made their way to the bedroom where young Ashley was hiding, they kicked down the door.
Oh, no, please. Please. I won't say anything. I promise you.
According to police, the thieves fled after seeing the young girl. They were later caught after crashing their getaway car into a flatbed truck. Authorities credit Ashley's level head in these extreme circumstances as part of the reason the suspects were apprehended so quickly.
She followed all the instructions. She did a great job being 11 years old. She did better than any adult out there.
She was kind of a lifesaver for me.
And Wednesday night, GMA was there.
I want to thank her because what she did is really, really, really important to me.
As the 11-year-old, many are now hailing as a hero, finally met the woman who helped her keep calm on the other end of the phone.
Police say they would have arrived sooner, but the GPS coordinates they used took them to the right neighborhood, but the wrong house. All 3 people have since been arrested. Deputies say they plan to honor Ashley for her bravery. She did everything right. The burglars would have heard me just sobbing from the door, but she remained calm.
Impressed with her composure.
And that she called the one on the other end of the line her lifesaver.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Such a sweet story.
Thank you for that, Lindsay. New this midday, a case that sent shockwaves through the university, through Rochester. 2 University of Rochester students kidnapped and tortured today. 4 of the 9 suspects were sentenced. One of them will spend 155 years to life behind bars. That man, Adele Strickland,
it certainly sends a message that this type of behavior is not going to be tolerated.
That man, Lydell Strickland, was considered the ringleader. The other 3 will also spend time in prison. 13 Wham's Jane Flash is live outside the Hall of Justice this midday with these new developments. Jane?
Well, Norma, one of the defendants made a tearful apology. The other 3, when given the opportunity to speak in court, chose not to do that. I wonder how my life got to this point, Ruth Laura told the judge. No one deserves something like that. I wish I could have helped them. Attorneys characterize Laura and Analia Rolton as immature young girls swept up in the wrong crowd in a drug house on Harvest Street. They will each serve 7 years in prison. 2 U of R football players were kidnapped and tortured inside that house for more than 40 hours before being rescued by the SWAT team. David Alcaraz-Ubiles was sentenced to 15 years for his role.
He made a bad decision going to that house that night. You know, it's unfortunate that the judge didn't see it that way, but we believe that his conduct was the same as the 2 other girls.
Tonight, take a look at this video of this brazen burglary as a gang of thieves make off with motorcycles in an overnight smash and grab. 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan is live near Jones and Warm Springs with an in-depth look at this crime. Brian.
In the video, it looks like the thieves are trying to shield themselves behind that pillar before making their way up this walkway and smashing this window, opening the door for their spree. Masked thieves smashing the window of a motorcycle dealership in a coordinated break-in. One of the crooks even armed with a fence post to clear the glass before 3 of the thieves are seen jumping through the window. Just under a minute after the first rock went through the window, the first of the masked bandits is caught pushing a dirt bike out the side door. Employees hoping someone will recognize the group, some of whom could barely see over the handlebars of the bikes they were pushing. In total, the thieves made it out the door with 7 bikes. Other angles showing one of the bandits doing some window shopping before the group committed the smash and grab. The entire crime from the first rock to the last motorcycle heading out the door, taking just under 2 minutes.
Tonight, a school sent into lockdown after a dangerous fight between classes. Now 5 students face big troubles. It happened around 8:30 this morning at Heritage High School in Newport News. It comes just about a week after a gun was discovered in the school. The incidents are enough to make parents very concerned. 10 on your side's Andy Fox now with what happened there today. Andy.
Anita, the good news is that no weapons were found and no one was hurt. The bad news, the people we spoke to think events like this at a school like this can destroy the school's reputation. Everywhere you look at Heritage High School, Newport News, you saw police. What happened out here at 8:30 forced increased security around the school. School officials say the massive fight started in a front hallway during a class change. We will not identify these 2 students.
I saw the crowd of people and it was just insane. it was too much.
Yeah, everybody started jumping in.
Yeah, it was just adding and adding and adding and adding on, and it just got too much.
The fact is, there have been 3 recent fights at Heritage, December 12th, December 14th, resulting in 6 suspensions, and today, where all 5 students face expulsion.
This is our 3rd fight in a week, in 2 days, actually. But besides that, it needs to be stopped, basically, because it's just nonsense. It's crazy.
What do you think it does to this school's reputation?
It destroys it, completely destroys it. It kills it.
Police tell us 2 of the students in today's fight have pending assault charges against them. And 9th grader Nazareth Asu told us about the modified lockdown in the classroom that resulted from the fight.
We just closed the doors and stuff, locked the doors and sat down, cut the lights off.
Asu's mother sat in the front, saying how sad the whole thing is.
Now to a shooting here in the Las Vegas Valley. Metro looking for a murderer this morning after a man was shot and killed while riding a bus here in the valley. Kendall Nunley live from the scene with the latest on this one, and authorities are looking for what could be a 15-year-old boy.
Yes, they actually believe that the suspect involved in this, the person who pulled the trigger, just 15 years old. This deadly shooting happening just hours ago right here near Washington and Pecos. The victim, only 20 years old, was riding the bus with his girlfriend. But once again, the suspects involved believed to be even younger than that. So it happened a little before 6 o'clock last night. Police say the victim, a 20-year-old man, and a woman he was with were arguing with the suspects before that shooting. Then one of the 3 suspects signaled to the others to get off of the bus, and as they got off, one pulled out a gun and shot the victim. Metro says officers will carefully look at surveillance video for clues. There were surveillance cameras on that bus as well as the surrounding businesses in the area. Metro says the shooter could be only 15 years old, about 5'2" or 5'3" tall. One of the other suspects was wearing an all-red jumpsuit. If that does spark any clues in your mind. Metro is also working with the Clark County School District Police about the possibility that these suspects are Desert Pines High School students.
It's not just a police problem, it's a community problem. So hopefully the message is getting through and to parents and teachers and counselors and all the other people that have contact with these kids too, to try to talk to them and get that message out to them. Potentially could change his life.
So definitely the key for law enforcement moving forward, finding the person responsible for pulling that trigger, once again believed to be only 15 years old. If you have any information, you're urged to call police. We're now reporting live near Washington and Pecos, Kendall Nunley, News 3.
And Kendall, please let us know if they release any of that footage this morning. We still have a full hour before we hand people off to the CW morning broadcast. We want to be able to provide those images to local viewers. We know you'll stay on top of it. Thank you.
Well, this frightening piece of surveillance video you see here has a Raleigh neighborhood on alert tonight after it was posted online.
It shows 3 men approaching a family home before it appears that they realize they're being recorded. CBS North Carolina's Steve Sprasia is talking with the homeowners, and he's in the neighborhood tonight with more. Steve.
Well, this is Powell Drive Park. It is right in the middle of the neighborhood where that video was recorded. The park has a lot of land which is adjacent to quite a number of homes in the neighborhood. And residents around here say the parkland allows easy access to a number of backyards in the neighborhood. Well, last night, one family had a shocking surprise when they looked at their home video. This video was taken steps from the back door of Janet Mobley's home. She describes what we're seeing.
We were alerted and saw footage on our security cameras of people trespassing on our property and in what looked like approaching a door.
How scary is that, knowing that 3 people were steps away from the outside of your house?
Well, considering it was at 6:30 on a weeknight, if I hadn't been working late, then I would have been coming in the front door at the same time that they were at my back door. So that's pretty scary.
When a camera on that system is recording, a red light appears.
They saw the camera activate, and obviously they're not going to want to break in once they know they're being filmed.
The police now have that video, but so does the neighborhood via Facebook and other social media.
When we do a collection of clips like this, each clip, of course, represents just the tip of the iceberg. And each clip represents a story of black violence and criminality, against white, Asian, gay, young, old, straight, gay, whatever. That is all over in the numbers. I think the one that kind of got my attention the most was not the 12-year-old little girl, but the guys who are wheeling the motorcycles out of the motorcycle shop. It was just a couple months ago, somebody sent me a news story. They said, Colin, check this, you're not going to believe this. It was like 10 black people breaking into a car dealership, and what they do, you find the lockbox where the keys are. Grab the keys, take them outside, you press the alarm button, and then that matches the car with the key. Next thing you know, there's 10 black people getting in cars, in a convoy, out of the parking lot. Boom. Okay, I thought, oh yeah, we're going to do that story. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Boom, boom, boom. So I saved the clip somewhere. I couldn't find it the next day. So I thought, I'll just go to Google and get it. So I typed in car dealership theft, car, whatever. Large scale theft, mob theft at a car dealership. I thought it'll come up pretty easily. What came up was dozens of examples of the exact same thing. I just described the exact same thing we just saw with the motorcycles being rolled out of the motorcycle dealership. This thing's enormous. And not one reporter would look into the camera and say, oh yeah, that's happening all over the country. Not one industry official that I've ever seen has said, listen, car dealers, all over the country, dozens and dozens and dozens of times, black people are breaking into your store, stealing the keys, stealing the car. What, we just don't worry about it because it's an insurance thing? Wow. Oh, by the way, the same thing happens to gun shops, probably even more frequently than car dealerships. I got to get to that story. That's kind of a big story. I have to put it together. And, there's actually a Facebook page dedicated to nothing but videos of people breaking into gun shops. That's a black thing too. Just like breaking into car dealerships. That's a black thing. I think the car dealerships, in LA, I saw once a video. There might have been a few Hispanic kids running around. Other than that, it's a black thing. Still trying to find the white kids doing it too. I guess we're way beyond the it's not really happening, is it, Colin story. What about that little girl, that 12-year-old little girl? Okay, we know that, that's going to change her life forever, right? Forever. We know it's going to change the life of her parents and her friends and her family because you just scared the hell out of them. That's a kind of scaring that doesn't go away. Most of the time, the movies get this kind of thing wrong, but this time there's something they get right. When you have 2, 3, 4, 5 of the fellas doing some kind of burglary or something, the fellas do exactly, when they're in their 20s burglarizing, they do the same thing that the fellas do in 3rd grade on the playground. The fellas always do what the worst kid wants to do. And when you're involved in these home invasion robberies, all it takes is one guy to say, hey, I'd like to do some bad business with that 12-year-old girl, and man, that would really have changed. That would have changed the whole city of Orlando. As it is, Orlando and its suburbs, there's a surprising amount of black crime and violence directed at white people, directed at tourists. There's a little town there called Disney World. I'll tell you what, though, the last thing that the reporters and public officials in a place like Orlando want to have Colin Flaherty or any of you guys looking around their town and going, oh yeah, that happens a lot. Colin's documented a lot of stuff in Orlando. There's a lot of black criminality in Orlando, as there is in Jacksonville, as there is in Tampa, as there is in dozens and dozens and dozens of other little towns all throughout Florida. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to bell the cat. Nobody wants to let the tourists know there's something strange going on in the state of Florida. But above all, nobody wants to make the black kids angry.